What's up, YouTube? Back at today with a video. Today, this video is going to be about, but before we get into that, I want y'all to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if y'all already not. I want y'all to also push and also spread awareness of my channel, so to say. I want y'all to keep pushing my channel, I want y'all to keep watching my videos, watching the shorts. I know y'all love the shorts. Y'all also got to pay attention to my videos, like, and also share my content with your fellow workers, your fellow fellas, some of your girls. Y'all need to share this because a lot of this information, a lot of people don't understand, a lot of people don't get. So with me having a lot of experience, I can tell a lot about these subjects that I speak on. So with me having education and experience, I will be giving y'all the best content. Without further ado, I also want y'all to go follow me on IG and like and also follow me on there. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Today, the video is going to be about whether or not you should date. And I got a question from one of my closest friends, a subscriber. He asked me, he said, is it better to date an experienced woman or an inexperienced woman? And we're going to explain those things and what's the experienced woman deals with and what's the inexperienced woman deals with, and the pros and cons of each other. So without further ado, let's get into it. So without knowing what you going into dealing with an experienced woman, if you are an experienced woman can control her emotions better. I want y'all to realize that an experienced woman has been kind of battle tested when going throughout a relationship, so she can better understand how the things that man wants, the things that men need out of life, and the things that men look at and look forward to in a woman. So kind of, if you're asking if a woman is more emotionally stable as a more experienced woman, it's definitely going to be the experienced woman by a long shot, because like I said, an experienced woman does not go through all the emotions, and they understand that, hey, look, this right here, or if I do this certain type of thing, this is going to make a man mad. And that's just not a generally fact of men, but also overwhelming fact of men, because like I said, she probably didn't dated multiple men, and she understands that, hey, I can't do these certain things in a relationship, and I absolutely can't do these certain type of things in a relationship. So when you start to see and deal with an experienced woman, you'll start to see that inexperienced woman kind of talk to multiple guys, and a lot of women don't see a problem with that. That's due to inexperience. Women, as they get older, they understand that men hate that type of stuff. So when you're dealing with a younger girl will probably tell you, or an experienced girl will tell you that, you know what I'm saying, they're just my friends. You're trying to control me. They use that word. When you hear women saying about control, that's a very young tendency, or a very inexperienced tendency of a woman to say something like that, because women understand that it's a man's role to be assertive and knowing the whereabouts and how everything is going in and out of this woman's life, especially if y'all are super serious. And women understand that. Women with experience understand that, and that's not a sense of control. That's just a man being a man and following to his nature. So that was number one. With an experienced woman, here's the downfall. With an experienced woman, depending on what type of woman that you have, fellas, it is going to be maybe a factor that she been around the town. So when you're dealing with a more experienced woman, fellas, you are potentially exposing yourself to be kind of in the forefront of being embarrassed. A lot of women that were probably been around the town probably went through a phase in their life, and you can't necessarily judge them on that. You can sit back and say, this certain type of woman, everybody tore up back in the days, or this certain type of woman somebody tore up about 2-3 years ago. You know multiple famous people like that, and multiple famous people like let's say a Cardi B. Cardi B was you know what I'm saying? But when she got with Offset, you've seen that her whole relationship, her whole ideology changed. Even though she's been around the town, it's a difference between her actually being done with that specific time in her life and her going on forward and understanding, okay, I have the experience and I'm not going to sit back there and do that with the person who I say that's my husband. See, you can respect a woman like that. You can look at a woman like Gucci Mane's wife. I've got her name, Kat. I don't know. I can't remember her name. But she was the same type. She was like a video girl. She was around the town. And as a man, I'm pretty sure that bothers Gucci Mane, but he knows that that woman is loyal to him. He knows that woman lived that phase out. When you're dealing with an experienced woman, you're going to run into that potential of being exposed to those type of secrets, and those type of secrets are going to bother you as a man. I'm gonna be 100 true. They are. You're gonna think about that. You're gonna think about, man, how about if two dudes had at one time, three dudes? How about dudes was smacking her around with their stuff, and you know what I'm saying, they was throwing her around, and we'll wake up, do it again, and you know, you just think of the wildest things, and it's gonna cross your mind. But please do not be better and ask her, did they three dudes, you know what I'm saying, tear you up from the back, and have one of your ass, one of your mouth, and one of your vagina? Please don't be doing something like that. Just let it go. Let it go. I know it's hard, but you gotta let it go. I know you want to ask a question, but bruh, let it go. Next, fellas, we're going to talk about sexuality. Who's the better catch? When you look at it, the more experienced woman is going to be more of the more sexually, I guess, attractive when it comes to the younger, I mean, not the younger, but the more experienced woman to the not experienced woman. More experienced woman is going to be more open to more things. In general, I'm not saying any outliers or the one girl that you had that did crazy stuff when you first met her, she was a virgin. But majority of women, they're not going to be as freaky. They're not going to be as sexually open to things that you want to do. If you may want to do anal, if you may want to, if you alpha enough, that's why I tell y'all to be alpha. If y'all be alpha enough, a woman would literally do anything that you want her to do. I'm not into threesomes and all that type of stuff. Whatever that was you into, I'm pretty sure if you are alpha enough, you could get her to agree to the certain things that you like in a relationship sexually. But as far as like anal or swallowing and stuff like that, that won't be a problem for more younger, unexperienced women, if you're alpha. But like I said, by and large, women are with more experiences are going to be the more freaky ones. So if you want to go with someone that, you know what I'm saying, is going to match you and understand, okay, maybe she can do this and she can, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be with the more experienced woman. The more experienced woman is going to be the one that has done more things than the unexperienced woman, and is going to be way more open to the things that a more unexperienced woman won't want to be open to. So keep that in mind, fellas. Back again. All right, YouTube, my mic went out, but we back. So let's get back on subject. With ways on how to tell if you want a more experienced woman or if you want a less experienced woman. Another fact that you're going to have to factor in is that when you're dealing with a more experienced woman, the more experienced woman will actually treat you better. And what I mean by that is whenever there's an argument, whenever there's a disagreement, the more experienced woman is going to understand, because she's been through this before and many of other times, that when there's an argument, she will understand that, okay, my man is the man. I'm going to sit back and understand that he's the man, and I'm going to let things go and submit. With a younger woman, with a less experienced woman, or she can be an older, less experienced woman, you're going to run into women that have egos, and a woman that cannot be told that, hey, you know what, I'm wrong, I have to take that on the chin. A lot of people do not do that. If you sit right there and tell, I'll say 80% of people that they did something wrong, they're going to turn around and try to flip it on you. You will sit right there and tell them, you know what, I don't like how you doing this. I don't like how you always, you know what I'm saying, come home late. They're gonna say, oh, you come home late, or you do the same thing, or you don't tell me where you're at, or they're gonna try to flip it on you and try to make it seem like you're the one that's the problem. So when you're doing with a less experienced woman, you're going to run into that type of, and I'm not talking about no freaking an experienced woman that y'all feel like, oh yeah, it was one experienced woman that didn't go through what you're saying. That experienced woman was more submissive. No, by and large, I'm telling you that the person who's going to be more mature mentally and who will treat you the best is going to be the more experienced woman, because the more experienced woman is going to sit back and understand and say, you know what, I know how a man's role, and I know that I need to submit to him at the end of the day if he tells me something. Because 9 out of 10 chances, fellas, we don't be having no crazy things to sit right there and tell a woman to do. At least y'all is telling the crazy ass shit, which is rare. The dudes that be sitting there telling women they can't leave the house or something like that, that's crazy. But I'm saying that's not even what majority of us think about when it comes to women. It may be, you know what I'm saying, you going out too late with some, you know what I'm saying, your girls or something like that, or, you know what I'm saying, you got all these guy friends, like, you know what I'm saying. That sit right there telling a woman that is not controlling. A woman can sit right there and try to turn that back on you and try to say that's controlling. A less experienced woman will sit back and turn it around on you and try to make it seem like you're trying to do something wrong to her. You're not doing nothing wrong. You're being a man. You're being a man. And with a more experienced woman, fellas, y'all will not have to go through that. You can talk to an experienced woman and tell her, look, this is the ropes. If you're gonna do it, and if you're not, I can leave. If you are gonna do it, then we can sit right here and still be together, and we can sit right here and continue our relationship. A less experienced woman is not gonna do that. She's gonna fight you tooth and nail on those things, and she's gonna keep on fighting. She's gonna keep on challenging them. A real experienced woman would not. A real experienced woman would not. She will understand what she's doing. She'll understand that it's wrong, and she'll understand that what I am doing is wrong. And she can sit back and take, you know what I'm saying, constructive criticism. Most people can't. Most people can't, and that's what you're gonna deal with a less experienced woman. So you may think that you're getting a good deal for dealing with that less experienced woman because she ain't got too many people that she done slept with. But at the end of the day, this can definitely be something that can be annoying. It can cause turmoil in the relationship because you have this unexperienced woman and she has daddy telling her, you know, no man can tell you what to do. You do what you want to do, and a lot of girls believe that ideology. So that was that one, fellas. This is a big one for my fellas, especially for my fellas that's living in today's time. When you're dealing with a more experienced woman, fellas, and I'm gonna be honest with you, when you're dealing with a more experienced woman, and it's gonna be going to the advantage of the experienced side, you're dealing with a more financially stable woman. You're dealing with a more financially stable woman. Now, you do got some outliers out there, don't get me wrong. They're still 40-some years old or been, you know what I'm saying, dating for a long time, and they still don't understand this shit. But by and large, women who are more experienced are more stabler. And they will be so quick. The more experienced woman will be more quicker to understand how life works. Okay, we both are together. We both make average incomes, so we both need to move forward. Why are we paying one rent here, one rent here? That's stupid. We've been together for like a year and a half, 2 years, a year. We need to come together and move into as one. When you're dealing with a less experienced woman may still be thinking, oh, life is just, you know, a man's gonna magically come sweep me off my feet, and we're gonna live in a mansion, and I'm gonna get this basketball player and all this. They're less out of in tune with reality. So when you're dealing with a more experienced woman, this is why I'm saying you're dealing with a more financially stable woman. A woman that may say, okay, let's go buy a house. We're already paying 2 rents. Let's not do that. A less experienced woman would not do that. So when you're dealing with a more experienced woman, fellas, you're dealing with a woman that's more financially stable, and a woman that's more financially headstrong. Depending on if y'all are talking like this, y'all are pretty serious, so y'all may be moving into the kid stage. Y'all may be saying, okay, let's have a kid or something like that. Maybe she is that 1% that I tell y'all about that y'all need to find out there. If she is, she will be more quicker to move into the kid stage because she only got to about 36. That's the latest until you start to reach complications in your pregnancy. She may understand, okay, yeah, let's have some kids. You with a younger girl, I mean, with a less experienced woman, that girl gonna be 36 and still be thinking that she can still do the IVF or some crazy shit like that, egg donoring and egg whatever what they call that stuff when you fertilize. I mean, not fertilize, when you refrigerate the egg. Come up with crazy shit and thinking that, you know what I'm saying, that shit is gonna be cheap. That shit is expensive. So fellas, you're dealing with a more financially stable woman when you're dealing with a more experienced woman, because she understands, hey, we need to come together, we need to get married. If not get married, understand that we can get married and get a prenup involved, and then we can start building. We can start building, because I'm not sitting right here wishing upon a star and thinking that I'm going to get some Prince Charming that's going to fly the sky with his cape on and sit right here and scoop me up off my goddamn feet. So that was that one, fellas. And with the less experienced fellas, I want y'all to also know, just to add to that, the less experienced fellas, you're saying y'all are super serious, saying that y'all are super serious and y'all are moving forward, y'all then, you know what I'm saying, start having unprotected sex. The less experienced woman is going to be more prone to have an abortion from that kid. If you're a man and you know that you don't have that final say so, whether a woman was to keep a child or not, that less experienced woman that you're dealing with, if you know she's less experienced, it's going to be a huge chance that she's going to abort that kid. Just being honest with you. And you can be sitting right there heartbroken, understanding that, hey, even though my girl is, I think she's the one, and I think that she, you know what I'm saying, we talked about certain things. When you're dealing with less experienced women, they understand that, you know what I'm saying, they are not put on a pedestal. They don't think that their knight in shining armor is going to come. So when you're dealing with those more experienced women, you have less of that. You have less of that. You also have less of them being influenced by family and friends. Family and friends, we all know, fellas, that family and friends don't want to, nobody actually wants to see you happy. Don't we understand that now? Nobody actually wants to see you happy. Only you want to see yourself happy. People would like to fucking tear down your fucking relationship because they may not be happy, or they may not be secure or happy in their relationship. Or people may just be fucking evil and like to fucking just be mean and be catty and an asshole to people. Can we fucking get that through our heads? And that, you know, the people don't understand and think that most women, they think that their friends have their best interest. Some most women think that their parents have their best interest. Some women think that their family has their best interest. But at the end of the day, it's really not. The man who you're with probably sees everything and can conceptualize everything and say, you know what? They're sitting right there not understanding what you're actually going through, and they're not in this situation. So therefore, I'm not going to agree to what they're saying. But a woman who's less experienced will definitely agree with what they're saying and cause turmoil in your relationship. I'm just being honest. That less experience will actually bring that. So, by and large, fellas, y'all want my honest opinion? Y'all truly want my honest opinion? By and large, not saying all, don't quote me on this. Not all, but by and large, not saying that is not this way for all. Again, the more experienced woman is going to be your better bet. I know you're going to have to go through and feel those feelings, but fight them. Hey, the life is way more hard, brother. Life is way more fucking harder, sister. So when you're dealing with a more experienced woman, you're dealing with a less combative woman, a less argumentative woman, because they understand and cherish someone that comes into their life that's good because they've been with worse, and they understand that the certain circumstances that they've been in the past, they don't want to go through again. And they understand, especially if you want your stuff and you're a good guy. I'm not telling y'all to be jerks to these women. I'm telling y'all to be men to these women and be gentlemen. You can still be, you know what I'm saying? If you don't want to be with them, you ain't got to be with them. If you don't want to be in a relationship, be married to them, you ain't got to be married to them. That's your choice. I would want y'all to be married. I would want y'all to find that one, because like I said, I'm a Christian. I believe in, you know, marriage, and that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be out here having sex with all these girls. But At the end of the day, you gotta ask God to forgive you for your sins, because man, these women out here, it's far in view between the ones that you think that's the one. So this is why, in general, fellas, that you see women in today's time, when you see them in their 50s, they look happy, everything is calm, everything is cool, and that's because of their maturity level. And when you look at younger women, less experienced women, you see them, they be chaotic, they want to drink, do this, hell with men. This is why you see these type of things, fellas, and I'm not saying that it's not any young girls that's not like that, and it's not, but by and large, when you're dealing with younger women, or if you're dealing with less experienced women, they're not going to be more, they're not going to be more, I guess more, they're going to be more chaotic, the less experienced woman. So when you're dealing with the experienced woman, she's going to be more calm and more understanding and more loving to you. And like I said, it depends on if you can handle the things that, you know what I'm saying, boil down to, you know, the cons. Like I said, one of the big ones that I feel like is a thing is that she probably been around, brother, and just moving to another state or something like that. Especially, you know, she good, and you know what I'm saying, she didn't let that stuff go, and she not about that no more, and she wants to, you know what I'm saying, live her life the right way. Literally, everybody got to pass. Everybody. Who was, you know what I'm saying, what they say in the Bible, who was not sinned, throw the first stone. Yeah, everybody is sinned. So we all got to pass, fellas. But anyways, if you like more videos like this, y'all gotta subscribe to my channel. And if y'all haven't already, like the video, also comment. Also let me know what y'all think, what the pros and cons are to a more experienced woman and to a non-experienced woman. And let me know if I made the right decision and who's the right pick for y'all fellas. So, well, also, I want y'all to go follow me on IG. I'm gonna try to drop more videos for y'all. Like I said, y'all gotta keep posting y'all gotta keep sharing my channel. Let everybody know that I'm giving out game. It's not only for men, it's for women too. And without further ado, I'm out.